Okay, so I'm going to be doing number 3 from the Conic major assignment. First up on A, it wants us to classify the equation as a ellipse, parabola, or a hyperbola. In this case, it's a I think I said hyperbola, yeah. In this case, it's going to be a hyperbola because A and C have opposite signs. So once you multiply those together, it is less than 0. And then on to B. We're going to go ahead and complete the square. So first, I go ahead factor out the negative from the x. And the x is over this side, I guess you said. And then I go ahead and factor out the 4. And then go to half this, 4. Square that, 16. You can do the same for this. Get negative 1, square that. And you get positive 1. And then since it's negative in the front, you're basically, instead of adding the 16, change it to subtract. So you have minus 16. And then over here, 4 times 1 plus 4. Yeah, move it down a little more. You go ahead and divide both of these by 36, leaving us with x plus 4 squared over negative 36 plus y negative 1 squared over 9 equaling 1. And with this, we can go ahead and switch it to, I think you see that, all right. Switch it to this equation, which is the format for the vertical hyperbola. And then with this information, we can get the center. So this right here, switch the sign, negative 4, that's the x. Switch the sign for this, positive 1. And the center is negative 4, 1. And like I just said, it's a vertical hyperbola. Making the transverse axis, it's going to be on the x instead of the y. If it was on the horizontal, it'll be on the y. And then we're going to find our A and B. So right here, this is our B right here. Then we have our A. This is just squared. So basically you square root it. Then once you square root 9, you get 3. B is 3. And then square root 36, you get 6. A is 6. Rotate this. Then right here. So with that being said, we already have our center right here, plotted down. And then our B, we move up 3 points. So from negative 4, 1, we go up 3. So it would be, my bad, 2, 3, 4. And then it'll be negative 4, 4. And we do the opposite, we go down, giving us negative 4, 2. And then for our A, we move left and right 6 from the center, giving us, I'll focus on that. Sorry, it's not focusing. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Giving us 2 and 2 and negative 10 and 2. All right, so next up, for G, we're finding the focal length. And to find the focal length, C, we use A squared plus B squared all over the square root. Then once you simplify that out, we eventually get square root of 45. Simplify that down, you get 3 square root of 5. And then using a calculator, that is our approximately 6.708. See the other paper. Okay, yeah. And since x for our center is negative 4, we're going to go negative 4, 1 plus 3 square root of 5. And then the other one's going to be negative 4, 1 minus 3 square root of 5. That's going to be our 2 foci or focuses, or however you would say that. And then for F, we're going to be stating the 2 vertices. And to find those, we go ahead and use b over a, or plus or minus b over a. Once you simplify that down, you get 1 over 2, which is our slope, and 1 plus or minus, and you put it into y, where's it at? Right here. Y equals mx plus b. So for this side, y is our 1, so 1's going to be on both of these equations. And then plus or minus 1/2 for our m for both of these equations. And x, of course, is our is -4. So you go to solve these out, plus b, of course, on both. You solve these out, you get 3b and -1b. And then you can go ahead and plug that in back into the equation, getting you y1 equaling 1/2 x plus b, and then y2 equaling -1/2 x minus 1. And the first thing, our slope is always going to be rise. Oh, you can see that. Our slope is always going to be rise over 1, which is our b over a right here. Let's see if I can. It's our first equation right here. This slope right here, y1. And then the opposite of that, the other equation we found, y2, going down right here, which is -1/2 x minus 1. All right, that's H. And J says find the x and y intercepts. Go ahead and label it on the graph. And since it's a vertical hyperbola, there's not going to be any x-intercepts. It's never going to touch the x-axis. So to find the y-intercept, we can go ahead and let x equals 0. Plug that back into our equation. X is 0 right there. We can go ahead and solve it out. Right here. Oh, my brain just... Hold on. Yeah, we go ahead and solve it out. And once you solve these, rearrange these. We're gonna solve these out, and eventually we get down to this equation right here, and it's gonna be plus or minus for both of our y intercepts. So then from that, we have y1 equaling 1 plus square root of 13, which is approximately 4.605. Then y2 equals 1 minus square root of 13, approximately 2.605. And that's our two y-intercepts. So basically, you could just have this. Forgot to write this. 0, 4.605. That's one of them. And 0, -2.605. I'll show you that real quick on the graph. You have the first one right here, which is 0, 4.605, almost touching 5, but not quite, right there. And then for y2, we have 0, -2.605, right there. And then no x-intercepts, so it never touches. And then lastly, take the domain and range. So I have that right here. So our domain is going to be -infinity to +infinity. So it's forever going left and then forever going right for both sides. And then for our range, lastly, we have -infinity to -2. So the lowest point, -infinity, never stops. Then the first one right here stops at -2. Let me go ahead and use the U for the other one, which is 4, and then positive infinity. So it jumps back up to 4, or starts back up at 4, and then forever goes on to infinity. And that's number 3, the hyperbola.